I hope everyone here can enjoy the following few hours with us. So without further ado, let's welcome our first keynote speaker today, Chairman of Bay Helix and partner at Jones Day's partner, Tony Chen. Tony is a partner at Jones Day's Shanghai office. He has led the firm's China IP team and local counsel in representing multinational pharmaceutical companies in patent invalidation and infringement disputes before the CNIPA and IP court. Tony is the leader in promoting strong IP protection regimes in China for pharmaceutical innovation, including patent linkage, patent term restoration, and regulatory data protection. He is an advisory member of the U.S.-China IP Cooperation Dialogue organized by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and Renmin University of China. Tony was trained as a molecular biologist before he studied law. We will have Tony to stay with us for a couple of minutes after his talk. So if you have any questions and would like to ask Tony, please raise your hand or message me the questions in the chat group. We will invite Tony to answer your questions after his talk. So now, Tony, it's your time.
All right. Thank you. Introduction. Good morning and good evening. And good to be with you again. And yesterday, you had two very exciting panel discussions. And so obviously, a lot of great deals have been done and many in the cooking. And today, I will talk about some of the potential challenges on your road to successful partnership and considerations you want to have to overcome such challenges relating to pharmaceutical patent. And I'm going to be assisted by April Penn of GBI because today, a focus is about how to monitor patent listing and the generic challenge. And I will be using a pharmaceutical patent radar, a database monitoring service to illustrate the challenge you face in doing a partnership. And so I'm going to share content and so bear with me a few seconds. So when I load my screen content, okay, let's see. All right, let me know whether you see my screen or let me know if you don't see my the cover of my PowerPoint. And the title of this presentation is Drug Licensing and Patent Linkage. Now, up till about 5-6 years ago, pharmaceutical patent actually did not matter too much for many pharmaceutical companies in terms of building successful franchise in China. As people who have been in the China's pharmaceutical company for a long time, I moved from Silicon Valley to Shanghai 2004, and for a long time, people you find that even after patent expiration in China, pharma companies can continue maintain the level of sales and even grow. So that obviously leave commercial people the impression that patent in China doesn't matter that much, so long as you can maintain a high price for your drug, and the hospitals like to prescribe them. that have changed. And in recent time, we now have two drug price cliff, and one being the medical insurance negotiation, and obviously we are all very impressed by the significant price drop for PD1 antibody, and to large part triggered by the medical insurance negotiation. And then even more drastic drug price drop will happen when a particular innovative drug face multiple generic drug competition in China's market. At that point, the government often would include the drug for volume-based procurement bidding. And okay, so VBP happened after patents have expired or have been invalidated. And so with this new environment, the game has changed, and now patents matter, and matter greatly, and especially in China's environment where there is no regulatory data protection. Like in the US, you get 12 years of RDP for biologics, somewhat shorter RDP for small molecule. But in China, there is no RDP, so you really count on patent for keeping your drug away from volume-based procurement and the drug price patent cliff. And if you're not having patent, or your patent will expire soon, your exclusivity period can be very short. And here I'm using one such example. This is a multiple myeloma drug in the US, launched by Onyx and now owned by Amgen, and in China, partnered with Beijing. And this cancer drug was launched in China just
we have encountered some audio problem with the speaker. We will try to put Tony back as soon as possible. While we are solving the technical questions, technical problems with the speakers, we can
let me share try share screen again.
That would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, I just switched the network. Do you see my screen now?
Not yet.
You can hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Do you see my screen? Joyce?
No, I cannot see your screen.
Let me try stop share, and then this is a screen sharing. Let me. You need to reboot. Let me. This is frustrating. because
Alternatively, maybe you can share the PPT with me, and then I can share from my screen. Oh, yeah.
okay, Joyce, I'm going to hit the share content button again and see whether it will work this time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see my screen now?
Yes. Yes, I see
Okay.
your screen.
Wonderful. All right. Okay. Sorry for the technical glitch. So back to the example of Kyprolis. And as you can see, the same drug in the United States, according to Orange Book, the drug from its launch, US FDA approval, till the expiration of the last to expire patent in the US Orange Book will give the product 14 years of exclusivity, whereas in China, it will be 4.1 year. And if a generic challenge is successful, the exclusivity period in China will be even shorter than 4 years. Now, if you stay towards the end of this presentation, you will see how the pharmaceutical patent radar will help you to monitor any drug approved in China that is listed in Chinese Orange Book, and how to monitor the exclusivity period. And so now you heard me mentioning this electronic Orange Book. Now, this is a shorthand form of the China Patent Information Registration Platform for marketed drugs. And this website is publicly accessible, and it's run by CDE of NMPA. And it has these 3 sections, as you can see at the bottom of this screen. The left one is for innovator to register Chinese patent that protect their marketed drug. And the middle bar is for the public to see for themselves the patent listed under each of these marketed drug. And the right bar is for generic drug company and the biosimilar company when they seek NMPA approval of their generic of a biosimilar, how they handle the patents listed by innovator. And in the US, the ANDA system, since the early 1980s have been listed in the, orange colored, the book. Therefore, people in the industry are used to call this Orange Book. And now for Joyce?
Yes.
Hello?
Your screen is lost again. Yeah, now I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think today, for some reason, Zoom is spotty. I'm doing this call from offices. It seems the Wi-Fi is not working as well as my system at home like yesterday. All right, and here I'm giving you one example. This is English translated of a particular drug's electronic Orange Book listing, and you can see the information listed there. I won't go into detail because later we will actually go online and then show you actual example of that using the pharmaceutical patent radar system. And now, once the innovator listed the patents for the marketed drug, and then generic or biosimilar, seek approval of their copy, they need to file one of these 4 types of declaration, and along with their application for approval. And I'd like to draw your particular attention to the type 4 declaration to the right of this slide. And that is where the generic or biosimilar challenge the listed patent. And the Chinese patent linkage system went online on the 4th of July of this year. And so in a little over 2 months, we have already seen 27 type 4 patent challenge filed against 17 marketed drugs as of yesterday. Okay, and you will get a copy of this slide later, and then you can understand for yourself this commercial significance of these 17 drugs being challenged. And so with this new setting, because these 2 days we're talking about licensing and the partnership. In this new environment, there are 3 key IP questions when you do pharmaceutical licensing and the partnership deals, both for the licensor and licensee. Okay, so for the licensor, the potential licensee will ask, do you have patents for listing in Orange Book? If yes, how many years of protection these Orange Book patents will provide for your drug? And can these listed patents withstand patent challenge from a generic or biosimilar? Okay, the real commercial question is how big, how long is the exclusivity period for the drug so that investors, developers can recoup the investment and make reasonable profit. In another term, you go through this presentation, you would understand this thing called the pi value. How big is the pi value of the drug? You want the pi value to be as big as possible. In an earlier example, you saw that for Kyprolis, in the US, the pi value is 14, in China is 4.1. And this question about whether your patents can withstand challenge from generic drug company is a very serious one in China, because in recent time, when you look at the statistics, when pharmaceutical patents are challenged under attack for invalidation, about 50% of them get invalidated entirely, and 25% of them invalidated partially. Okay, so this question you also need to understand during the licensing discussion. And there will be more such a challenge, because China's patent linkage system actually provides 12 months of exclusivity for the generic drug company that challenge it first and successfully. So therefore, under the new system, there is even more incentive for generic drug company to bring patent invalidation challenge. All right, so with that, we want to show you some real examples of how to use the pharmaceutical patent radar system, which has information in the CDE's platform, but the CDE platform is only searchable in Chinese and also a variety of other limitations. And then, this online system will allow you to search in English, search by, the owner of the drug, marketing authorization holder, and then very importantly, track patent declaration, because you want to meet the 45-day deadline, which we will have here, and a number of things. And then I'm going to start to launch into that. Before, I ask April Pan to give you the real demonstration. I want to show this 2D barcode, and you can use this to register and give this pharmaceutical patent radar a try, and see how this may be helpful to your pharmaceutical licensing discussion and the partnership discussion. Okay, with that, let's see, I'm going to ask April to use that drug IP radar to show example. And the first one, we're going to show how to do drug name search, either by generic name or by trade name. April? Okay, so. All right, so you will come to this screen. This is a search screen, drug IP radar, and in this case, April is entering the trade name of this drug. This is AstraZeneca's lung cancer drug. And so now you come to the screen, and then you see there are two registrations at the NMPA, and you see the approval number. And then let's see just one of them, give you a glimpse, and see what kind of patent listing information you see. So here you see the in English the product name, and I mentioned to you the exclusivity period. You can see listed under Tagrisso. It shows a pi value of 15.4 years, and there are 10.8 years left. So for this drug, according to Chinese Orange Book, there are still 10 years of a patent life left. And then you wonder, which Chinese patent will provide this protection. And down below, you will see the particular Chinese patent numbers. So here we have two patents listed in Chinese Orange Book. And the Chinese system actually require you to identify the particular claim numbers and the type of claim, and then the expiration date. Okay. And both patents are scheduled to expire 2032. All right. So that is about searching using the drug name. And the system actually also will allow you to search by the drug target. In this case, we're going to do a demo of using Her2 as a drug target, and then see how this will allow you to find competing or Me Too drugs going after the same target. All right. So here, with the search under Her2, you find a good series of drugs. They involve going after Her2 as a target. And we're going to click on one of them to give you an example. This will be a Roche monoclonal antibody product for treating breast cancer, pertuzumab. And then let's see, for biologics, what kind of Orange Book information this will give you. So for Perjeta, you see that the pi value in China is 10.1 years, and there are 7.4 years left, for the Orange Book patents. And then here we see, let's see, a total of 4 patents listed to protect the Perjeta. Okay, and then again, it tells you the type of patents and the particular patent claims protecting this product. So that is about searching using chart target, and then the next we're going to demonstrate how you do the search using the market authorization holder's name, because this function is not available using the CDE's system. And in this case, we're going to use AstraZeneca as an example. So we're going to go back to the search page. So let's see, we enter AstraZeneca in the search. All right, and then you find that there are a total of 41 entries, meaning 41 different registered product with NMPA under AstraZeneca's name as the market authorization holder. And then we click on any one of them, you will find that. And then here, so you will see, for the sake of saving time, I won't click into them, but you will see for this particular product, it has already faced 4 type 4 challenges, and you can see here there is a column registering patent challenges, and then when you enter into them, you will find the more specific information about the patent challenge, and we're going to go into that. And so once patent type 4 patent declaration is filed under this new patent linkage system, from the date CDE publicly announced this type 4 challenge, the innovator, the small molecule, in this case, the small molecule drug innovator, has 45 days to bring a lawsuit, either before the Beijing IP Court or before the Chinese Patent Office, to trigger a stay period. The stay period is 9 months long. During that period of time, NMPA cannot approve the generic. Basically, is to give the court or Chinese Patent Office time to sort out, who is right. Is the innovator right, or the generic drug company right in terms of this patent challenge? So therefore, it is very, very important for innovator not miss this 45-day deadline. If you miss the 45 deadline, then NMPA will not stay its approval process for the generic. So we're going to go to this database and look for type 4 patent challenge. So you can select the two types of type 4 patent challenge. As you can see, we have selected 4.1. 4.1 patent challenge means the generic drug company wants to say the patent is invalid. And the 4.2 means the generic drug company is saying that their drug product falls outside the scope of the listed patent claims. And what you see here is a list of 27 type 4 patent declarations already filed. Since the patent linkage system started operating, and so here we're going to use this AstraZeneca drug example. The previously I show you that, and then let's see what do we find. So you can see in this case there are still 34 days left for AstraZeneca to file the lawsuit to trigger this 9 months stay period. And then in terms of the patent declaration, we can see some details. AstraZeneca listed 4 Chinese patent for this drug. And then this particular generic drug company filed regarding one, they filed the type 3 declaration, and the other 3 patents, they filed 4.2 patent challenge, meaning that they are claiming that they have designed their generic drug product to fall outside the scope of the AstraZeneca Chinese patents. And this, if the AstraZeneca file a lawsuit before the 45-day run out, then it will be up to the court or the patent office to decide whether the generic drug falls within the scope of these patents. And if AstraZeneca win, then the NMPA approval will be put off until that particular patent expires. So this is about the patent declaration tracking. And let's see. And so in the slide here, we are using the Kyprolis example, which I mentioned earlier. This one is the patent challenge is different from the last example I showed, in that this one is challenging the patent validity, or the 4.1. And in this case, I showed you earlier that the drug went on market July 31st, and the generic patent challenge was accepted by CDE on September 6th. So it was just a little over a month after Kyprolis was launched in China, and the first generic challenge has already come in. And then, using the database, you will be able to, learn about the innovators' NMPA registration information and the innovators' Chinese patents. And then, importantly, you also will be able to follow the ANDA status of the generic drug company. So in this particular case, it's Hansoh, Jiangsu Hansoh, that filed the patent invalidation challenge. And then the database will allow you to find out that the CDE accepted the generic application on September 7th. I should say, this screen right now shows the Chinese version. You can switch to the English version on the website if you wish. And then, down below, it started to give you the status of ANDA at CDE. Okay, so now let's, having seen a few of these example, I want to spend a minute on the Pharmaceutical IP Index for measuring the exclusivity period of a particular drug in China. And the way PI stand for the acronym of Pharmaceutical IP Index. And this is value is combining the NMPA approval date of a new drug, using that date as the starting point, and then using the end point, it will be using the date when the innovator lose exclusivity, and that could be patent expiration, patent invalidation. Now, we know China is working on the rules for patent term extension. If an innovator managed to get the patent term extension of their drug, then the endpoint could push out, to a later date. And then later, if China decide to implement regulatory data protection, that will also have an impact on, the endpoint. Okay, so starting point, endpoint, that will give you the exclusivity period, and then we call it pi value. And so using Kyprolis as example, and okay, because we have the approval date in July 2021, and then we have the patent expiration date. That give you this particular 4.1 year of pi value. And you have seen this slide a little earlier. Okay, we use the same way calculating the exclusivity period for the same drug in the US, and that is 14 years. If the Hansel type 4 patent challenge is successful, then the loss of exclusivity could happen before August of 2025, in which case the pi value will be even smaller than 4.1 years. And you can use this for any approved drug in China. And here I'm giving you another example, with data coming from this database. In this case, is the PARP inhibitor that Zylab in-licensed from Tesaro, and this drug was launched in China January of 2020. And according to the electronic Orange Book, the Chinese patent would expire January of 2028, and then that will give the drug a pi value of 8 years. And for comparison, the same drug has 14 years of pi value in the United States. All right, so getting to the end of this. So with this new patent linkage system, what licensor partner should be doing in preparation for licensing and the partnership discussion in China? I think you can think about that, translate that into a practical question of how to increase the pi value of my drug that I plan to conduct a licensing and the partnership discussion. And then now here we get into a bit of details that your colleague, your IP lawyers in-house and also outside, we need to be planning and executing for the company. And you need to obtain multiple patents in a family. This way, even when you lose one patent in a invalidation case, you still have others to protect the drug. And then you need to prosecute your patents in anticipation of a challenge coming from a generic drug company, so that you stand a good chance of winning in this patent linkage litigation. And you also need to watch for this patent term extension rule that will come out very soon, and then plan for your drug to qualify for patent term extension. And with that, I'm going to end, with this barcode again, in case you want to check out how this may help with your licensing planning, and be very happy to take a few questions. Joyce?
Thank you, Tony, for your introduction. Are there any questions from the audience? Please raise your hand and or send us the question to the panelists, and we will discuss the question and answers. In the meantime, we do have some questions from audience already. So today we discussed the IP linkage system by the new Chinese IP system. I wonder, the audience wonder, like, how to increase the pi value of their IP, what can they do to increase the chance that they can sorry, I will read out. So when should they file the IP to increase the pi value to the maximum? Like how they should plan their patent family filing for this one.
Okay, good question. Well, you want to plan as early as possible, and particularly during the clinical trial of your drug. Okay, as soon as you have a good idea what indication this drug will be, and what the drug label may look like, and you want to already very proactively, engage your counsel handling patent prosecution in China, because it's one thing for you to get the pharmaceutical patent in China. It's somewhat different for that patent to be listable in Orange Book, because you need your Chinese patent claim to cover the drug label you are seeking in China. Okay, so when you have a good idea what your drug label is like, then you want to engage your counsel and help them to craft your patent claim and the prosecution strategy in a way so that when you get the Chinese patents, they will be qualified for listing in the Orange Book. Okay, and also because China's patent prosecution system is different from that of the United States and in Europe, in that the window for you to file new claims could close very quickly, unless you use some particular, what we say, divisional filing strategy. And you also need to engage your patent counsel to say, hey, this particular patent family is very important for Orange Book listing in the future in China. Therefore, I want you to do things to make sure that this divisional filing window will stay
Hello, Tony.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. So can you repeat the last part of your answer? I think we lost you for your last like 2 sentences or so.
Okay, so I suggest that the applicant want to work with your counsel to for your important Chinese patent application family to set up this so-called divisional filing strategy to keep the window open for a long time, allowing you to file new patent claims from that same family. So this way you increase your chance of getting patents that can be listed in Orange Book, and also getting multiple patents from the same family.
Thank you, Tony. Our next question is from audience Anthony. Several of your examples show a large differences between the expiration dates in US and China. So typically, what drives the significant differences, and will be the differences narrow under the new Chinese law?
Okay, that's an excellent question. Well, the answer is not very precise, right? I mean, different patent families, they have their particular situation. But I would say there are 2 scenarios that account for the difference in terms of the endpoints of a patent family. One being the availability of patent term extension in the United States, and this has been there for decades. And so you can recoup for some of the patent life lost due to the US FDA review process. Okay, in China, we don't have that, and people eagerly wait for the starting of the PTE system in China, hopefully in a few months. Okay, so that's one thing that accounts for difference. Another is that in China, the Chinese patent law does not give a protection to method of treatment. Okay, when you develop your drug, and in the United States and many other countries, that during your clinical trial process, you find ways of using your drug to better effect, and then you can apply for and get method of use patents, and these patents are filed later during your drug development process, so they will expire later. In China, sometimes you can, take this kind of invention and they use the so-called Swiss type of claiming method to get a similar protection. But in many other situations, you will not be able to get Chinese patent protection for this type of invention. And this is another scenario that accounts for the difference in terms of the endpoint of patent life for a drug to be longer, later in the US and earlier in China.
Thanks, Tony, for your insights. Our next question is from Jolene, Langsheng investment partner. The question actually is a little bit off topic, but it's still highly related to the IP situation in China and globally. So the question is, how can all the Chinese PD1 companies go broad in light of the BMS patent on PD1? Thanks.
Okay, well, this it's an excellent question, but this would require an analysis of the particular situation for the particular PD1 product. And I would just say that I understand there are many agreements, some of that announced to the public about the licensing between, PD1 companies and the patent owners. So if you either manage to design around the patent, if the patent expires, or you sign a licensing agreement with the patent owner, then yes, Chinese PD1 company can commercialize their PD1 in the United States without being, stopped by a court injunction.
All right, thank you, Tony. So the PD1 competition in China is very famous. That's the reason why we have those questions. And the next two questions I think are similar, so I will combine them together to ask Tony. So is from J Rich Capital, San Jose office, Irene Lin. The patent protection date are starting from patent approval date. Is that the same as the drug approval date, or is earlier than the drug approval date? And the other question is pi value in your one of your example, the pi value is 4.1 years, while the exclusivity date is only 3.9 years. What causes the differences? Yeah.
Okay. Two excellent questions. Patent approval dates and NMPA approval dates are independent of each other. There is, so sometimes the patent approval dates are earlier and the NMPA approval dates. Other times it's the other way around. Okay, and so for one patent, the approval date is earlier than the NMPA approval date. For a different patent, the patent grant date may be later than the NMPA approval dates. So they're independent of each other. And actually, one thing we help a company do is that even after your drugs have been approved by a Chinese regulator, you continue to obtain new Chinese patents. Now, of course, they were filed earlier, but you can still get the new patents. And when you get a new patent, you can request for that new patent to be added to the Chinese Orange Book. Okay, so this opportunity exists, on the continuous basis. Okay, your patenting activity will not stop when you receive Chinese FDA approval. Actually, you need to even intensify, your patenting activity when your innovative drug is approved by NMPA. All right, and as to the second question, why, in the case of Kyprolis, the pi value being 4.1 and the exclusivity period now is 3.9. Well, the answer is that's a very straightforward one. The pi value there is accounted from the date of approval, because that was July 2021. The remaining exclusivity period, that's counted from today. When you visit this website, because 2 months have more than 2 months gone by. Therefore, the remaining exclusivity period is shorter.
Thanks, Tony. So one last, due to the time limitation, our next question will be the last one. So today we discussed a lot about IP linkage system that is more for approved drug facing patent challenge from the generic ones. But how about the innovative drugs? How should we monitor the IP situation from the innovative drugs? That's the question, Tony.
I see. Well, I mean, maybe I can make a guess here. What do you need? The innovative drug being drugs still in clinical trial and not approved by NMPA yet. Because once the drug is approved by NMPA, whether that in a small molecule drug or a biologic, you want to list your patent in the Orange Book. And if you don't list, the drug will also show up, in the Orange Book, and it will just be blank in the space for patent listing. As for innovative product not approved by NMPA yet, well, this it would require you to conduct separate patent search, because such products, they do not show up in the CDE's patent platform, the electronic Orange Book. So this would require you, either by yourself or particular database, or your outside legal counsel, help you using the technical description to search for Chinese patents. The Chinese Patent Office database and also commercial database, they are readily available to help you to identify Chinese patents for drugs still being developed, either in clinical trial or even before clinical trial.
All right, thank you, Tony. Due to time limitation, we will regretfully close the first keynote speech. Thanks to Tony's introduction on the IP linkage system today. I hope everyone has learned something new and be better prepared for the IP competition in China about biotech and the pharma industry. Next.